field and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now Watson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Matt Judon able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They run. It's Mark Ingram. Bernardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
Bernardrick McKinney on the tackle. A gain of a yard.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 6-0 our score after 1. 2nd quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 18. They'll run on 1st down. It's Ingram, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
12 yards there and a 1st down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend as the Ravens push further out in front. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A shotgun snap for Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kyle Van Noy able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Flushed out right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. 3rd and long, it's Watson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Matt Judon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is brought in at the 21. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Play action. It's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Here's Jackson throwing on third and long. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a fourth down after the scramble.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on third and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Watson. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Johnson. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Watch tight, tight end's right. Watch tight, tight end's right.
Ingram again. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
'41's coming. 41's a mic. I got you. I got you. Where'd he go?
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Jackson on first down. On the move to his left. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now it's Ingram. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 10.
Back 55.
On 3rd down, Jackson. It's complete to Snead. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time.
Jackson. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns as the Ravens push further out in front. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. Here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They go to Johnson again. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, Watson. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 62 yards. And the Texans cut into that lead. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, Now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they're looking to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 36, Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Jackson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
An 8-yard loss.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Back now in Baltimore as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back to throw, Watson. It's complete, Stills. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Put it down, put it down. Let's go.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Chris Wormley, he's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here's Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the gun, here's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Watson going deep for Hopkins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people are thinking about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
A run there on 1st down, and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 41-yard line.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Texans will take over at the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?